China's government is officially atheist. This means that the state does not endorse any religion and often views religious practices with suspicion. The Chinese Communist Party, which governs the country, believes that religion can be a source of instability and conflict. It has strict control over religion. This control includes Islam. The government monitors religious activities closely using advanced surveillance technologies to keep an eye on religious communities. Islam is practiced by Uyghur people. They live in Xinjiang. The Uyghurs have a rich cultural heritage and their own language, which is distinct from the Han Chinese majority. Xinjiang is in northwest China. It's strategically important. The region is rich in natural resources and serves as a key trade route for China's Belt and Road Initiative. The government worries about separatism. It fears that the Uyghur population might seek independence, which could destabilize the region and threaten national unity. It also worries about terrorism. The government claims that extremist groups could use Islam to incite violence and terror, justifying its heavy-handed approach. This is the government's excuse for controlling Islam. By framing its actions as necessary for security, the government seeks to legitimize its policies both domestically and internationally. The government wants one thing: national unity. It promotes the idea that a unified country is a strong country and any form of dissent is seen as a threat. It wants all groups to follow its rules. This includes religious groups. The government imposes regulations that restrict religious practices and require religious leaders to align with state policies. China promotes a specific idea: love for the country. This is instilled from a young age through education and public campaigns that emphasize patriotism. It links this to loving the Communist Party. The message is clear. To be a good citizen, one must support the Communist Party, which is portrayed as the guardian of the nation's prosperity and stability. Xinjiang has faced severe security measures. Surveillance is everywhere, facial recognition is common, police checkpoints are numerous, people's phones are checked. The region has become a high-tech surveillance state, with cameras monitoring every move. The government justifies these measures as necessary for maintaining stability and combating terrorism, but the extent of the surveillance raises significant human rights concerns. They look for Islamic content. Authorities are particularly vigilant about any material that could be deemed extremist or separatist. This includes religious texts, videos, and even personal messages. The scrutiny is intense, and the consequences for possessing such content can be severe. The government has detained Uyghurs. Many are arrested on vague charges related to extremism or separatism. Families are often left in the dark about the whereabouts of their loved ones. The detentions are part of a broader strategy to control the Uyghur population and suppress dissent. They are sent to re-education camps. These camps are controversial. Officially, they are described as vocational training centers aimed at eradicating extremism. However, reports from former detainees paint a different picture, one of forced indoctrination and harsh conditions. People inside face political indoctrination. They are taught to reject their cultural and religious identities and to embrace the Communist Party's ideology. The goal is to reshape their beliefs and align them with the state's vision. They are forced to denounce Islam. China promotes Sinicization. This process involves the assimilation of ethnic minorities into Han Chinese culture. It is a systematic effort to dilute the unique cultural and religious practices of the Uyghur people. It wants to align Islam with Chinese culture. This includes altering religious practices to fit within the framework of Chinese socialism. The government has implemented policies to ensure that religious activities are conducted in a manner that is loyal to the state. This has led to changes. Mosques have been altered. Traditional Islamic architecture is being replaced with elements that reflect Chinese aesthetics. This is part of a broader campaign to Sinicize religious sites and symbols. They now have Chinese-style roofs. The transformation of these religious sites is symbolic of the larger effort to integrate Uyghur culture into the dominant Han Chinese culture. Traditional Islamic clothing is discouraged. The government promotes modern attire that aligns with Han Chinese norms. This is another aspect of the broader strategy to assimilate the Uyghur population and diminish their cultural distinctiveness. The world is divided on Xinjiang. Western countries are highly critical. They condemn China's actions. They cite human rights abuses. Some have imposed sanctions on China. However, other countries remain silent. Many Muslim-majority nations don't speak out. They rely on China economically. They fear jeopardizing their national interests. The situation in Xinjiang is complex and multifaceted. It involves a delicate interplay of politics, religion, and economics, each influencing the other in significant ways. China's policies have a profound impact on the daily lives of Uyghur Muslims, affecting their freedoms and rights. Their rich culture and unique identity are under immense pressure, facing challenges from various fronts. The international community remains divided on how to address these issues, with varying opinions and approaches. This division complicates efforts to find a viable and lasting solution to the ongoing crisis. As a result, the future of Uyghur Muslims remains uncertain and fraught with challenges. It's a situation that demands urgent and sustained attention from the global community.